Good morning, David.
Good morning, Les. We're excited about today's topic because it's a tough topic and we actually think it's a solvable problem. By the way, Dr. Arya and I have committed to being serious today, right, Dr. Arya?
Sure.
No smiling.
Not smiling.
All right, so this is Dynamic Healing Moments, and we're putting on a workshop August 14th. And you'll hear us talk about this over and over and over again because we're excited about it. Because there's a very distinct issue that we're dealing with. It's called a self-critical voice or the inner critics. And it's a neurological trick. And what I'm excited about working with Dr. Arya on this whole process is I understand it much better. And the issue is that you have the self-critical voice that is pretty universal. I mean, it's the sort of the voice that drives a lot of high-level professionals to the top. You've all heard of the imposter syndrome from incredibly successful people. Why would that be? I mean, you've done it. You've actually accomplished what you're supposed to accomplish, but this voice is saying you're a fraud. I mean, how can that be? That makes no sense. But once you understand this is a freaking neurological trick, stop smiling. Dr. Arya,
Trying not to.
calm down. I know I'm giving an orthopedic explanation for a very psychological problem. But see, I like the mechanical part of this whole mental stuff because it's mechanical. I can fix mechanical stuff. So unfortunately, brain surgery won't solve this one, but this is universal stuff.
Yeah.
And we keep trying to fight this unconscious response with conscious means, and it can't work and it doesn't work. So I'm going to start out with a little lessism, is what you resist will persist.
Yeah.
That may be your anchor comment.
I took that from Carl Jung. So
Okay.
it was my favorite. He wrote a book called The Undiscovered Self.
Okay.
And so I think let's kind of kick this off. I think I really love what you said, David. Is that both of us have we've achieved a lot. And a lot of our audience members have achieved a lot, whether it's high school graduation, college, family, businesses, addiction issues. They've accomplished many, many different things. However, I think you just nailed it right there. As the crux of this is the very thing that got you to the top or got you where you are today, even with chronic pain, where you've pushed yourself. You cannot use that same methodology or skill set to try to heal from chronic pain, or to let anger go, or let anxiety go, or to learn to relate differently to the struggles of our lives, especially the internal world. So let me repeat that again. What got us here, that harshness, that inner critics, we've allowed it to push us around. However, when it comes to healing, David and I are really sending a clear message is, you need different tools and skills to heal, because you and I know this, David and I know this, and you know this, audience, is that sometimes the very tools we use gets us more in trouble. So what we're trying to show everyone is there's a different way to do this. And so David speaks really big about this is, one way to heal is to let go of the anger. But sometimes we need to talk to that part of our mind that's holding on to the anger. Like, what is up with that? I'm doing all the expressive writing, I'm meditating, I'm coming to the groups, I'm reading his book, I'm doing that. There's something there, and it's not letting it go, because, and this is what we talk on in the workshop, is it's not letting it go. Let's pause there for a second. Why is it not? It has a purpose. It's trying to protect you from something. And David, as we both know, is these inner critics, and notice I used plural, it's not an inner critic, inner critics. Right. There's probably one, we can name them, there are a variety of them, but I just wanted you to know, just in general, these inner critics push us around, whether it's Judge Judy, we can call that in the inner controller or taskmaster. There's the perfectionist, there's the underminer, there's the guilt tripper. Have you ever done this? I told my mom that, a couple of weeks ago, I couldn't come over because, I was working on a project with David.
Okay.
So anyhow, when I was meeting with you, I couldn't meet with her.
That guilt trip just didn't work, but that's okay.
I'll talk to your inner critics. Don't you worry about it.
You taught me how to process these freaking things.
Yeah. So, all right. So with that said, what I mean is sometimes when we don't do things, there's a part of us that says, what kind of a person are you? So bottom line, what David and I are saying is is one of the best ways to heal is to really better understand why something is happening or understand the purpose it serves. Like chronic pain serves a purpose, your anger serves a purpose, and that's what we're really big about. David?
But also, I think it's really critical to understand the nature of the inner critics because they're unconscious, they're powerful, and you can't deal with these things with rational means. That's the key issue. They're universal, they're incredibly powerful. And I'll remind the audience that the unconscious brain processes about 20 million bits of information per second. If I shift to my chair, my pupils constrict and dilate, I automatically blink. It's all unconscious. The conscious brain only processes 40. There's a complete mismatch. So the more of a well-intentioned person you are, the bigger your hopes and your dreams, the stronger this neurological trick. Because you want to be a good person, your unconscious brain is saying, no, you're not, and finding ways that you might not be a good person. So inadvertently, even though the unconscious brain has the intention of protecting you, and this is what I've learned from you, I'm going, well, this doesn't make any sense. But because the result's negative. I mean, you end up on negativity. So your unconscious brain is so powerful, inadvertently, that negativity gets reinforced.
Yep.
It comes in multiple different forms. And the reason why this is such a critical topic is that you either develop unrelenting anxiety or you develop some very dysfunctional coping behaviors in order to solve it. And
Yeah.
we're also trying to pull out of the chronic pain mode and just call it chronic disease, both mental and physical, because it manifests in anxiety, depression, OCD, bipolar are the mental manifestations, but also manifests as cardiac disease, peripheral vascular disease, hypertension, obesity. All sorts of things happen when your body's under this constant subconscious barrage. And you can't let go without the right tools,
Yeah.
right?
Honestly, David, I love what you just said there is, and I hope the audience heard you clearly, is we have good intentions wanting to let go and to heal. And sometimes it just takes a little tweak. I'll give you an example. This morning, we had a workout with jump rope, and I had to shorten my jump rope. It's one of those fancy ones, and I couldn't find the right tool, David. So I was using one of my drill bits to try to unwind the little notch on the it's a fancy jump rope, but and I was using the wrong tool. So when I went into the gym, my coach basically said, here's a tiny tool and here's what you do. And so it comes back to this. Sometimes it's the smallest and simplest tools that will actually shift you into completely letting go. And that is what David and I are saying is sometimes you need the right tool for the right job. And we need the user to be open to it. And so this is what we're asking you to do is David and I talk about this. It's a paradigm shift. When you no longer fear your pain, that is truly the first sign of success. When you can finally realize that the things that tend to push you around, you don't have to respond to it, but you need to know how to relate to it with specific tools. That's what we're talking about this morning, is to really pay attention to those different inner critics that push you around.
Right. So the final thing I'll use as a metaphor, and I'm still waiting for your lessons for the day. I cheated on the first one. So here's the thing. What are those those manhole covers that are in the street?
Yep.
Okay. So are you gonna lift one of those out without a pry bar?
Great. I love that.
When you put your thumb in there, finger in it, you can try to put your fingers around it. You're not gonna lift this thing up unless you have a pry bar. With the pry bar, it's sort of simple. So you are not going to break loose from your unconscious brain without a tool. You can't do it. And that's what we keep doing. We keep using these rational means to deal with this pry bar. But the other thing that our workshop is called Befriending the Inner Critics. It's on August 14th on Saturday. It's a one-day workshop. I put the link up on today's Facebook page. And we're going to be going through this process next week. But what we're asking you to consider is that we're going to spend the whole day on this one topic. By the end of the day, you'll understand the nature of it, but also the nature of the solutions. But you'll leave with tools.
Yeah.
And that's what's an ongoing process. You leave with tools to actually solve the problem.
Yeah.
So these are irrational. So if you want to get past, say, a guard that's just protecting something, you're not going to, if this person's strong and big, you're not going to get past this guard. But you can befriend the guard maybe, or you can maybe bribe them, whatever. Somehow you have to develop a relationship with this critic.
Yeah.
That's the deal. It's not becoming best friends, but you have to develop a relationship with these critics so you can work past them.
That's exactly, David. And David, wait, hang on. Oh, I have something for you. Are you ready?
I might can. Okay, here we go.
All right.
I'm gonna write this down.
Since you mentioned the guard about befriending the guard, you
Right.
cannot have authority over your mind and body without responsibility. You cannot have authority over your mind and body without responsibility. And what that basically means is if you want to change, is you actually have to you have to be responsible with the right tools versus saying yes, but I'm trying. Those are words that will victimize you. And it's okay to have self-pity, but self-pity sometimes shifts into victimization. And I just want to be gentle about this is tough stuff. David and I are saying, so I'll repeat that one more time, is what David and I are saying to you is if you want the right tools, you actually have to have the right skills in that sense, right? So you cannot have authority over your mind and body without responsibility. And what that basically comes down to is it's incumbent upon you to acquire the right tools at the right time. And it is a lifestyle change is what it is.
So that's no, I agree. This is really excellent advice. But I'm going to have the last word today.
Wait, didn't you have it yesterday?
No, I'm on
No,
my roll here. No, this is.
I'm gonna have to keep track of this.
I went to the Hoffman process about 10 years ago. We'll talk about that in another day. But it's a 7-day in-house workshop that creates an incredible awareness of family patterns. But what they taught me there is that try is the ultimate victim word. It just is. And so they said, take the word try, write it on a piece of paper, and put an X through it, and put it on your mirror. Then in your refrigerator, just write the word do, and just leave it there. So don't put things on your to-do list unless you're going to do them. That's one thing that came out of the thing. But if you find yourself using the word try, you are in a victim mode, period, end of story. It is the ultimate victim word. And that's my last word. So you can't talk anymore. All right. So we appreciate your time this morning. And so again, the workshop's August 14th on a Saturday, 1-day workshop. We're focused just on this inner critics process, understanding the nature of it, the tools to break loose, and also the concepts of moving forward, which we'll also get to. But it'll be comprehensive. It's going to flow. We're going to have a good time. And we're excited about it. So it's a dynamic healing moments. And again, the workshop is on Dr. Arya's website at remedypain.co.
Yeah.
And my website is thedocjourney.com. And we will see you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.